You make your profit when you secure the site. Now, get this step wrong and the rest of the project becomes harder, riskier, and way more stressful.
One of these days, we're gonna find a way to make something out of nothing.
Hey everyone, Castagnet here, back with another live training session from Property Development World. Today we're diving into one of the most important stages in any development journey, and that's site acquisition and negotiations. This is part one, and we're talking about how to source the right development sites, i.e. the most profitable sites, before they've ever even hit the market. Now, if you missed our last sessions on why now is the best time to get started in property development and the 7 biggest mistakes developers tend to make, head to our website and check out the replays. And of course, while you're there, grab a copy of my book, Build, for the full step-by-step blueprint on the development process. Okay, let me say this loud and clear. You make your profit when you secure the site. Now, get this step wrong and the rest of the project becomes harder, riskier, and way more stressful. Now, let's talk about what most people do when sourcing a site. They check real estate websites, of course, wait for agents to send them deals perhaps, scroll endlessly through listings online, and perhaps even drive around in circles hoping to get lucky. Now, that's a very passive strategy, and it's the same game that everyone else is playing. You're competing on price in that case, and often going after the leftovers. Now, if your site's already on the market, there's usually a reason. Maybe it doesn't stack up, or has been passed over by savvy investors. The danger, you try to force the deal and you try to justify a bad site just so that you can get started. Now, that's where your risk goes through the roof. The truth is, the best development sites never hit the market. The real deals are secured off market through proactive sourcing, not waiting for listings. And that's where my funnel approach comes in. It's a proven method I use to source development sites based on your exact criteria, what I call a made-to-order strategy. You're not just searching for anything, you're targeting specific locations, lot sizes, and zoning that match your goals. Now, imagine this. You're not just finding sites for yourself, you're sourcing deals for builders, other developers, even investors. This approach becomes a profit center in itself. All right, let's break down the key elements you need to focus on when sourcing these profitable sites. First, location. Target those markets with the right zoning, good infrastructure, and alignment with government strategic plans. Very important. Secondly, permissible use. Use council and state planning maps to check what's allowed on the land. And thirdly, the yield. You want areas where you can maximize the build, i.e. you want the highest and best use for your site. Now think of height limits, density, and lot sizes, etc. Once you've got your target zones, drill down to the street level. Identify individual properties that fit, then look for the red flags, heritage restrictions, flood zones, acid sulfate, soils, and there's a myriad of things you need to check. But this is the power of the funnel. It narrows down thousands of options down to the real opportunities. So after you've filtered your shortlist, that's when you run your financial feasibility and you do a thorough site inspection. We'll cover those steps in more detail in the future sessions. But coming up next in part 2 of this series of site negotiations and acquisition, diving down into negotiations itself, you'll learn how to secure sites off market and use tools like call options, which I use every day here for the last 20 years or so, and it's very profitable. You don't want to miss this. I'm Castagnet from Property Development World. Be sure to check out the website for online courses and other freebies, and of course our upcoming live events. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.